It was steep, it was rocky, there was dirt.
What was the ground brush cover, if there was any, like?
I mean, it was dirt and grassy area.
How long did you stay at the Pali Lookout on March 24, 2025?
About 6 hours maybe.
What time did you end up leaving?
Right around just about 6 p.m.
Who was with you when you were leaving?
Officer Koki and Officer Borges.
And where were you instructed to go at around 6 o'clock p.m.?
Back to the main police station on Baratano.
So you're going back towards town, or you're going towards Windward side?
We're going town-bound. So we left Pali Puka, we went Pali, but we went town-bound towards the main station.
And can you describe the vehicle that you and the other two officers were in?
So we're in an unmarked HPD police vehicle. It's a Nissan Quest, gray in color.
It's a Nissan Quest. What kind of vehicle is that?
It's a van, a regular van.
And where were you positioned in that Nissan Quest?
I was driving the van.
I know you talked a little bit about it, but can you clarify the route you were taking to get back from the Pali Lookout to the main station?
Okay, so we left, we were at the top part where that rock wall was. We parked, then we left, and we went down towards Pali, so the Nuuanu Drive.
Nuuanu Pali Drive?
Pali Drive, yeah, to Pali Highway.
As you were driving down the Nuuanu Pali Drive, what did you observe?
This is the moment the entire encounter changes. Up until now, officers are simply heading back to the station. Then suddenly, a man matching the suspect description appears out of the brush. From an investigative standpoint, this is exactly the kind of observation prosecutors later use to establish identification. But here's a question for you. If you were in that vehicle, would this alone be enough to convince you it was the suspect?
As we pass everybody, we go down. I see a male emerging from the brush area behind this tree, like the forest area, come across the roadway.
Can you describe the male that you observed?
Yeah, he was average height, maybe 5'7", 5'8". He was wearing a white shirt, blue pants, which he had like blood on his shirt.
Or what looked like blood?
What looked like blood appeared to be blood.
How close did you get to the male in the vehicle?
So after we continued to drive down, we pulled just alongside. So if this is my vehicle, he was approximately right there.
And for the record, you just demonstrated about an arm's length?
A little bit past the arm length away.
Okay. And he got a little bit past an arm length away from your vehicle?
Yes.
Did you recognize that male to be anybody relevant to your investigation?
Yes, the suspect.
And that's based on the description you were given?
Yes.
If you were able to see that person again, would you be able to recognize him?
Yes, I would.
If that person is in the courtroom...
Pay attention to what just happened. An in-court identification can be powerful evidence because the witness is pointing directly at the defendant in front of the jury. But defense attorneys often scrutinize these moments carefully, asking whether the original observation was clear, reliable, and free from suggestion. It's a reminder that eyewitness certainty and eyewitness accuracy aren't always the same thing.
Can you point to that person and let us know an article of clothing that they're wearing?
Sitting in the middle with the blue collared shirt.
And may the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
Record will reflect identification has been made.
Okay. And who did you ID the male as, name-wise?
Well, Garrett Koenig, sorry.
So once you observed the male and ID him as Gerhard Koenig, what actions did you take?
So we pulled alongside. I told my other fellow officers in the car that was him, and then we pulled up, and then I put up alongside of him. I said, "Hey, police, stop, let me see your hand."
Okay. Now, when you said, "Police, stop, let me see your hands," can you tell us what kind of voice you used when you do that?
I mean, I used kind of a loud, commanding voice so that he could hear.
Officer Nicola, I'm sorry, I'm going to ask you this. Do you mind demonstrating?
Yeah, so I pulled up and I said, "Hey, police, stop, let me see your hands."
And there it is, the split-second decision that escalates everything. According to the officer, after making eye contact and hearing commands to stop, the suspect runs. In court, prosecutors frequently argue that flight can indicate consciousness of guilt. Defense teams, on the other hand, may argue there are many reasons someone could panic and run. What do you think? Does running automatically make someone look guilty?
And after you said that, did you give the defendant a chance to comply?
Yeah, so he looked at me. He looked back. Because I'm looking at him and he's looking at me when I said that.
Okay. So he's looking at you when you say police stop?
Because he's up the van approaching because he runs in front of us because we come down.
And how long did you give him to comply with that demand?
I mean, I at that point, I'm just looking at him. Could have been, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. He's just looking at me.
Okay. And after you see the defendant, you pull up, you tell him to stop, you guys look at each other, then what does the defendant do next?
Then he turns and he runs away from my vehicle to this brushy, like the grassy area because we're still in the roadway.
Okay, you say he runs to a brushy or grassy area. Can you describe
Like
the area?
it's just like it's the road and it's like grass and dirt area and then there was like bushes beyond that.
Okay, as the defendant ran toward the road and the grassy area and the bushes, what did you do?
And then put my vehicle in park. I exited my vehicle and I gave chase after him.
Did anybody else pursue as well?
Yeah, my other two partners are with me, but they were on the other side of the vehicle, so I didn't see when they came out or anything. I was just focused on running ahead of me.
So of the three officers, who got to the defendant first?
I did.
What happened when you got to the defendant?
So as I got closer, I reached out and I grabbed his right arm to try. I'm still yelling, police stop, and I was able to grab onto his right arm.
Okay. After you grabbed the defendant's right arm, actually, pause that.
Yes.
Restart the question. You said you kept yelling, police stop?
Yes.
How many times?
I just kept yelling as I was running. Multiple times I just was yelling, police.
Okay. And going forward again now,
Yes.
after you grabbed the defendant's arm, what did the defendant do?
He tries to break my grip, so he tries to pull out and continue running away from me to get away from me.
Notice the officer's focus here isn't just on the suspect. It's also on controlling access to that bag. In high-stress encounters, officers are trained to secure anything they believe could contain a weapon or evidence. The detail about moving the bag out of arm's reach may seem minor, but moments like this often become major talking points later when investigators reconstruct exactly what happened.
And as the defendant's pulling away from you,
Right.
when you're grabbing his right arm, what happens with you and the defendant?
We're in this like grassy, like muddy area, so I lose my balance and he loses balance. We both fall down and I fall on top of him.
Right. Who falls on top of who?
I fell on top of him.
Okay, so now at this point, you and the defendant have both fallen, and you've fallen on top of him. What did the defendant do next?
This is one of the most closely examined portions of any use of force case. The officer describes using what are called distractionary strikes to gain control of a resisting suspect. Jurors typically have to weigh whether the force used was reasonable under the circumstances the officer perceived at that moment, not with the benefit of hindsight. These are rarely simple questions, and they often become a central battleground at trial.
Starts reaching for it. He has this like black, I don't know, side bag. I don't know what you call it. It's like he has it around him. He starts to grab for it.
And once you see the defendant reaching for this bag, what do you do next?
I'm trying to use my physical strength to pull the bag away from him, which I was able to, and I'm able to pull it off of him and get it away from him.
And so were you actually able to get the bag away from him?
Yes, I did.
So what did you do with the bag once you got it away from the
So
defendant?
once I got it away, I threw it on the side of me to get it away from me and him, away from arm's length reach from anybody, so he couldn't grab the bag again.
Right. So at this point, now that you've gotten the bag away from the defendant, what happens next?
Well, he's still trying to push and fight, and he's trying to like grab all over. So I don't know what he's going for. He's reaching for his waist. He's going for his pants. So I don't know if he has a weapon or not. So I continue to try to gain control of him.
And as defendant's doing this, as he's reaching for his waist and all this, how do you attempt to gain control of the defendant?
So I give him some distractionary strikes to his large muscle group area.
Okay. And when you say distractionary strikes, Could you explain for us what that means?
Well, I give him close fist strikes.
And when you say large muscle groups, what do you mean by that?
I'm trying to hit his arm areas and his legs.
And how many distractionary strikes did you do?
About 6 of them.
Ultimately, was the defendant apprehended
Yes, he was.
and arrested?
Yes.
After the defendant was arrested, what happened with his backpack?
So then, after he was arrested, I went back and grabbed the bag. I put it in a brown paper bag and I secured it until the detective came.
Okay. And once the detective came, what did you do with the backpack?
I then transferred custody and gave him the bag.
Did you take any photographs of the defendant and his physical condition on March 24th, 2025?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, may I approach with what's been marked as States Exhibit 132, 235, and 237?
Yes.
I'm sorry, 236.
132, 235, and 236, or what was the wrong one? 237 or 2?
I apologize. There's 4 photographs. I missed one. So we have 132,
Okay.
235, 236, and 237.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, may I approach? Okay, Officer Nicola, I've handed you 4 photographs now.
Yes.
Could you take a look through all 4, and when you're done, look up and let me know?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Do you recognize what I've just handed you?
Yes.
What are these?
The photos after he was placed under arrest.
And these are the photographs of the defendant.
Yes.
Do these photographs fairly and accurately depict the defendant as you observed him on March 24th, 2025?
Yes.
At this point, the state will move to enter 132, 235, 236, and 237 into evidence.
No objection.
The hospital trip might sound routine, but it serves an important purpose. Whenever force is used during an arrest, medical evaluation can help document injuries, protect the suspect's health, and create a record that may later be reviewed in court. As this testimony wraps up, notice how the prosecution has moved from identification to pursuit, to arrest, and finally to documentation, carefully building a complete timeline for the jury to follow.
And what has been marked for identification as States Exhibits 132, 235, 236, and 237 we received into evidence?
Okay, and permission to publish.
Granted.
Okay, Officer Nickel, I'm going to put those photos up on the screen. Starting with Exhibit 132. And now rotated correctly. Officer Nicola, what does this photograph show?
Full body picture of the suspect.
And what's that in the background of this photo?
That's the kind of grassy area that he ran into, or we ran to.
And how big are the trees back there?
Very big.
Publishing now States Exhibit 235. And we'll rotate it correctly. Okay, Officer Nicola, what does this photo show us?
Closer view of his kind of upper chest area.
And now publishing States Exhibit 236. And apologies, I might have to rotate it again. Okay, what does this photo show?
This is a left profile.
And lastly, Exhibit 237. And again, we'll rotate it upright. What does this photo show?
This is right profile.
I'm going to take the exhibits down. After you arrested the defendant, Officer Nicola, where did you take him?
Took him to Straub Hospital.
Why did you take the defendant to the hospital?
Just because when we took him down, there was force used and stuff, so we always take the suspect to the hospital.
How long did you and the defendant stay at the hospital?
Probably about 5 hours.